Hi, welcome to our very first video in writing Python. In today's lesson, we'll be looking at variables in Python, and our learning objectives are 1. Knowing what a variable is, 2. Declaring a variable, 3. Key rules in naming variables or naming conventions, then some exercise to demonstrate your understanding, data types in Python, how to check and change data types in Python. I've written the Python script here and I've left some of the cells blank. All you need to do is download this script and work along with me. Now we'll be starting with what a variable is. Imagine you have a room in your house, and inside this room you have different boxes with different names. And your main idea for having these boxes is to store item in them. And each box will only have one item inside it. Now, you also have the ability to swap the items in each box and change the name if you so wish. Okay, none of the names or none of the items in these boxes are there permanently. They can be changed. Now, this is the idea of a variable in Python. They are simply names that refer to values stored in memory. Okay, they allow you to store, manipulate, and reuse your data in the program. Is likened to, just like I said, like a boss in your house. Now, in Python, variables are assigned using the equal to operator. So I can start with saying x is equal to 10. Now, 10, once I click Control Enter, 10 has been saved in memory. And when we are looking for 10, we'll know that we saved 10 using the variable x. Okay, now another one we have here is, let's say, my name. Okay, my name is, so let's say Ike. Okay, and I can have like price of an item to be 4.66. I can say is active. So these are all variables. I can say true. Okay, once I hold Control Enter, 10 has been assigned to X, Ike has been assigned to my name, 4.66 has been assigned to price, and true has been assigned to is active. Now, when I add another cell and try to know what X is, hold Control Enter like I've said before. Now you're going to see 10. Now it's still the same thing when I try to call my name. So when I want to call my name, I have Ike comes out. Okay, this is an integer, this is a string, this is a float, and this is a boolean. Or we'll come to this. Okay, now in Python we have key rules for naming variables. One of the rule is that all names must start with A to Z, either capital or small, or an underscore. So just like we've said, my var is 5. So you can have one var 5. This is an invalid name. Now it must contain letters, numbers, and underscore. It can contain numbers, letters, and underscore. So we have user age, like I've been using this underscore here. Okay, and assign it to 25. Okay, we don't use something like this. Why we don't use it is this is not the naming convention in Python. It might work for some other programming language, but this is not a naming convention for Python. And also know that Python is case sensitive, and also it can't have some Python keywords. Like these are, they are unique names in Python. They stand for, they are particular stand for something in Python. They are Python keywords. When we proceed, you understand more of what I'm trying to. They are using writing commands or scripts or define a class or define a function. So you can use them in naming variables. So just like let me just quickly copy this one I have here. We can copy this and say declare variables. Okay, Now, if I want to print these variables, I can say print. So we use the print command to print out variables or print out anything in Python. So if I say print x or print, so I can say print my name, print name, or let me just use name, comma name. Just observe how that's going to come out. So one is my variable, one is just a string I've attached. Print the price of an item. Okay, I can say price. So this is what's going to, so print name, print price, print name. Oh, says Ike. Name is not defined. Oh, I've seen the problem. So print name should be my name. Sorry about that. Print price should be that. So this is it. To be okay, let's just put this in a sentence. My name is Ike, and the price of the item is that. So my name is Ike. Oh, there's two space here, and the price of the item is 4.66. All right. So you have the verifx exercise to create a variable, store the information about yourself. You can easily do this by now. Now we are moving into data types in Python. So we have different types of data types. This tells the computer what data type that the computer is dealing with. Okay, is this variable an integer? Is it a string? Is it numeric? Is it boolean? Is it float? Is it an equality sign? So is it an assignment operator? So these are the things you're going to look into. And the first one we have here is the numeric types. And under the numeric types, that's dealing with anything that is number. You have your integer. An integer is a whole number in maths. Okay, be it negative or positive. That's where you do normally hear sometimes people say positive integers or negative integer. So they are still numbers. The next one here we have the floating point. Anything with decimal is a floating point. Then the next one we have is a complex number. You might not see complex number much while you're working uh, as as a data scientist per se. So the major numbers we'll be working with is these two, the integers and the floating point. The int, this is the representation for integer, and float as a data type, this is the representation. Okay, now moving over to strings. So anything alphabetical. Okay, so we have is a collection of, well, depending on how you put it. So once you enclose it inside quotes, it becomes a string. Be it numbers, be it an alphabet, be it symbols. Once they are inside quotes, Python will say it as a string. So just like I said, name, I didn't just write Mike. If I write Mike, there it's going to throw an error for me. Okay. Text message, welcome to my world. Okay, so this is how Python knows that this is a string. They are inside the quotation mark. And bear with me, this can either be the single quote or the double quote. So you can use single quote like I've used here in hello, or double quote that I've used here in hello. Now when you have larger sentences, you can put them in triple quotes just like that. Okay, now the next one here we have the Boolean types. This is basically true or false. So you can use this to assign a condition while writing code. Now the next ones we have in our list is the sequence types. And here we use this to collect items. This is what the sequence types does in Python. They are used to collect what items. So the first one you have the list, the second one you have the tuple, and the last one you have range. So list here is ordered and changeable. So I'm having like my car here, and inside them I'm having Toyota, Honda, Mazda, and I'm having, when I want to call uh when I want to change this, I can change them. Well, I'm going to explain this one after the other. Then we have the tuple. Now, when you if you observe, the list is a collection between two the square brackets, and this one is between the using the, what's it called again? Sorry, the curved. Let me see, bracket. Okay. Then range is a sequence of numbers. When I ask for range, when I ask Python of range of numbers and give Python the beginning where I want it to stop, shorten one, the interval it should go, okay, it's going to print out the numbers just like this. Well, don't worry, we're going to practice that. I just want to explain what they do. Okay. Now underneath here, I want to make another list. So country names. So country underscore names, I can assign them to a list, and I have say Nigeria. Of course, that's where I'm coming from. And you have China. Okay. You have Japan. Okay, and that is it. So entered. I've saved this. So I want to change Nigeria to say Mali. So country names, just like I've demonstrated. So I'll explain how this comes to play. So I want to change it to say Mali. So when I call here country names and hit enter, oh, I went and put, sorry about that. So I'm going to save this again into memory. I've changed the name. So I have in Mali, China, and Japan. Now, in counting items in a list, Python starts with 0. So this is 0, 1, 2. Despite the fact that we have 3 items in this list, but the way we count, the way Python says them or gives it an index, that's the right word to use. Nigeria has an index of 0, China of 1, and Japan of 2. So let's say I don't want to do that. Let me reassign country names by hitting enter again. So it has changed whatever has been saved here the last time. So instead of changing Nigeria, I want to change Japan. So if I put 1 here and hit enter, sorry, I want to change China. If I put 1 here and enter, then call country names one more time, Nigeria will stay now, China will change. I'm having Mali, then Japan. Okay. Now although we'll come back to this later on in this video, for tuple, the difference between tuple and a list, of course, if I say country names, okay, and assign it to a tuple, let me use what we've used here, but copy. So if I assign this, it means that I can't change anything here. Okay, is ordered, yes, is unchangeable collection. In other words, they are immutable. So when I try something like this, although this doesn't exist, but I know it's going to throw an error. So you see that. Okay, neither if I do this, it's going to true, and tuple object does not support item assignment. Okay, so once you've defined a tuple, it stays there. Now finally coming back to range, so we have range here. So for I in range dot, just bear with me, print. So print will not execute like the way the list and other ones does. But if I do this, so you see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 20. Now, if I want to make sure for all, for each even number, I can just say for each even, although it doesn't, it's still the same thing, but I'm just trying to demonstrate print each even number. So if I wanted to print each even number, I'm going to add 2 here. So it's going to say 2, 4, 6. So basically what it does, the first one is the starting point. The second one is where it will stop. But it's going to be one shot of whatever you've written here. Say here is 25. It's going to stop at 24. Okay. Then the last one gives the gap. If I use 3 here, so you're going to start 6, then 3, 4, 5, 6. The next one will be 7. It will count 3 again. So that's how I believe you've understood how ranges work. Now, the next thing we'll be looking at is the dictionary. So the dictionary has a key value pair. I have a key. It's been assigned to a value. Okay. That's the difference between the dictionary type and the sequence types. Okay, so dictionary here has a key and it has value as well. So I can't say student. I want to create a dictionary named student, and it's being saved in a curly bracket. Always note that. So I can say name, the student name. Now to assign the name, I will use this column. All right. So, and I will say student name might be Mike. Oh, sorry about that. Mike. Then I can say age, and I'll give him 20 as an integer, so I don't need the quote. Then let me grade him. So he made an A in his assessment. Okay, so when I want to assess this, I've given a dictionary containing the information of the student by name Mike of age 20 and has A in his grade. So if I want to assess, say, the name of Mike, I want to assess the name of the student, all I have to do is print, then student name. So, and it's going to print Mike. So you can see the difference between the sorry about that, the list, the tuple, the range, and the dictionary. Now the next one is set of integers. We have a set, just like you have your set in mathematics. They are an unordered collection of items, meaning that indexing will be hard for set, and the position doesn't matter. That's what it basically means. Unlike in the list where we had Nigeria and Mali, so you have Nigeria is 0. So for that list, anywhere you call the list and put an index 0 is definitely going to print Nigeria. So the orders matters in the list, in the tuples, and the range that we did. But in set, they are unordered. Okay. So and they are an ordered collection of items. Frozen sets are the immutable version of I can change this, I can reassign this, but I cannot for this. But in rare cases, you might say this while programming, but this always can come in handy. But still, uh, I can't remember when last I've used something. I've used both anyways. Now, the last one we have is the binary types. Do not bother yourself about this, or you might see this when you start working with binary data like files and image. Okay, so here we have to back to how now to how to check and change data types in Python. To change it to oh no, to check data type. So let me create a variable, say w is equal to 15, and I want to know the data type. All I have to do is all I have to do is type then w. What was that? Type w. So it's telling me here that w is an integer, because so look at this, it's not calling w, but rather it's calling what's assigned to w. Okay, and this is an integer. Okay, so we use the type function to check the type of a variable. Now we can convert that 15 that you're seeing there to a string by simply, oh, okay, let's try. Create a string data, assign it to a variable age, then convert age to an integer. So say create a string variable age. So it should be a string. So instead of that, let me say age 27. The next instruction says then convert it to integer. So age now on to an integer will now be int. Then you put your age inside it. Now, if I want to check the print type, then the new one that we've changed, the age underscore int, and print enter. So you see it now becomes, so the first one, okay, let's try both. Print type, so type age. Yep. So the first one will be a string, the second one will be an integer. So, and that is it. Now back to our summary, we have data types: integers, positive and negative whole numbers, float, anything in fraction, of course, converted to decimals, complex number, anytime you have numbers or mathematical equations, you have I, you have J, they are what? Complex numbers. Imagine any number that have the real part and the imaginary part is a complex number. Okay, that's basic math. Now the next one is any variable inside quote is a string. So any true or false variable is a boolean van. Is it? Don't mind me. Did I just say boolean van is boolean? Now any number or any collection that is indexed saved in a square bracket is a list. Tuple saved in a curved bracket, okay, is a tuple. Okay, cannot be changed. The positions can't be changed as well. They are immutable. Sorry, they are immutable. Then dictionary has a key and a value. And finally, we have a set. And this brings us to the end of knowing what a variable is. Thank you for watching and stay tuned. Bye.